In this series, we will understand the fundamentals of the Sanskritam language, from the smallest unit of sound all the way up to the complete grammar of Pāṇini's building block. Before we jump into Sanskritam learning, let us ask a more fundamental question. What is language and why do human beings need it at all? Language serves three purposes. First, to communicate with others. Second, to express one's emotions. And third, to compress knowledge to preserve what took years to discover in the form that can be transmitted in minutes. While all languages of the world do the same, Sanskritam stands out for its symmetry and compression. Here is a passage from Pañcatantra, one of the oldest collections of stories in Sanskritam. Look at the block of text. It is a collection of sentences. Let us take one sentence. In Sanskritam, a sentence is called Vākyam. Every Vakya is a complete thought, a unit of meaning, and every Vakya is built from smaller units called Pada. Here is one Pada, Varṇamālā. A Pada is a word that carries grammatical meaning. It is not just a sound. It carries case, number, gender embedded in its form. Pada is the building block of a sentence. Now let's go deeper. Every pada is made out of individual sounds called varnas. When we split this word, we find two kinds of varnas. Sounds that flow freely without any help, those are called ach. Sounds that need help, they are called hal or consonants. So the English equivalent of saying that each word is made out of vowels and consonants, and it carries for all languages around the world universally. Long before Maharshi Pāṇini, the ancient acharyas of Sanskritam gathered all the unique sounds of the language and ordered them on various properties they observed. The complete set of Sanskrit sounds is called the Varṇamālā, the garland of letters. Present Hindi letters still follow the same pattern. Here they are, every phonetic sound in Sanskritam, vowels and consonant together, the raw material from which the entire language is built. Arranged in this order, this is Varṇamālā. You will notice it is very close to Hindi alphabet. You may already know. All other Indian languages inherits its alphabet directly from Sanskritam and follow similar pattern of vowels and consonants arrangements. Every sound has a precise place of origin in the vocal apparatus. Then came Maharshi Pāṇini. He looked at all these sounds and did something extraordinary. He rearranged them into completely new sequence, not by sound quality, but the grammatical utility. This sequence is known as Māheśvara Sūtras. Here are the 14 Māheśvara Sutras. Traditional people believe that it came from an acharya called Māheśvara with whom Pāṇini worked closely. And the other belief is that they came from Śiva himself, who bestowed these 14 sutras at the end of cosmic dance after a rigorous tapas Maharshi Pāṇini did. They quote by giving this shloka, Nrittavasane Nataraja Rajaha Nanada Dhakkam Navapañcavaram Uddhartu Kamat Sanakadi Siddhan Etat Vimarshe Shivasutra Jalam. Shivasutra either came from Shiva or Maheshwara. One thing we cannot ignore, the fundamental transformation of language into a more precise grammatical, like a computer program, that happened with these 14 Shiva Sutras. These are the building blocks that define the entire Sanskritam grammar. Pāṇini employed these 14 foundational sutras to generate 43 compact abbreviations known as Pratyāhāras. Each Pratyāhāra efficiently designates an entire group of phonetic sounds using only two characters, the initial sound of the desired subset followed by a specific it, the ending letters of one of these 14 sutras. What it allowed him to do is compress a large set of phonetic values with only two sounds, starting sound and the ending it. The brilliant compression allowed him to encode complete phonological classes in minimal notation. In modern terms, it is like programming shorthand. Similar to regex character classes, sets, constants, and array slices, Pāṇini's system shows how ancient linguistics mastered abstraction and efficiency techniques at the heart of today's coding and formal grammar. A timeless example you can take is if he want to say all the alphabets starting from A to to the last consonant. He's not going to simply write every single one of them and say. So he uses one abbreviation called al. We do that same thing in English as well. We see some examples in the modern languages. We say A to Z means everything, from start to end. But in Sanskritam, if he wants to define all the vowels, he will simply say at. If he has to say all the consonants, he will say hal, and so on and so forth. And he uses this mechanism throughout his grammar to compress the sutras and convey a very broad message with a very minimalistic naming convention. See the examples of all the Pratyāhāras that Pāṇini created to efficiently compress his Samskritam grammar treatise.